Evening to you all. That was our lone headline. You are welcome to High Prime of Monday, the 5th of February 2024. I beg your pardon. We'll kickstart with this story from Yaoundé. The Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson René Emmanuel Sadi today received a high delegation of senior executives from the French language international television channel TV5 Monde this Monday, 5th of February 2024. The delegation that was led by its chairman and CEO Yves Begot, who was accompanied by its director of marketing, distribution, and sales, Cameroonian-born Denis Epote. They began their series of audiences with a member of Cameroonian government, with that discussed on the incident that took place last January 23, 2024, during the live broadcast of the news program titled 64 minutes Le Monde en Français. Now let's take a listen to TV5's Director General and CEO Chairman of that French network.
I came here to meet with the communications minister to present him with all the excuses from TV5 Monde and tell him that we are very sorry, that we are sorry, and present our excuses to the people of Cameroon. There was absolutely no intent behind that unfortunate error. It was done as with planes crashes. It's not one thing, it's the multiplication of non-validation and multiple errors that led to that day unfortunate showing of the wrong Cameroon flag. Also, I wanted to make sure that Denise Epote's dignity was restored, because she was in some newspapers and in the social networks. She was made responsible for what happened. And even though Denise Epote has very important duties at TV5 Monde, she's in charge for the worldwide distribution, marketing, and commercialization of all our TV channels and all our digital offers, but she has absolutely nothing to do with the news content or with the news reports. So please, Cameroon people, Denise Epote has got nothing to do with this, please. And also I reminded the Minister of Communication that TV5 Monde is the official TV channel for the French-speaking international organization, and we are funded by France, but also by Canada, Switzerland, the state of Quebec, the French half of Belgium, and the Principality of Monaco, meaning we are French, but we are not only French, and in no way there was any French intent behind what is basically a series of human errors.
Thank you.
That was the chairman and CEO of the French television channel TV5 Monde, Yves Begot, who was speaking there to a Yaoundé-based reporter after meeting with the Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson René Emmanuel Sadi. We move over to our lone headline. Petroleum products in Cameroon have recorded a 15% increase after government's action and decree was passed last Friday, where they stipulated that these will swing into action as for the midnight of last Friday. In the paper that follows, Cynthia Lato picks government action and puts it in greater perspective for the understanding of the layman.
A litre of super in Cameroon moved from 730 francs CFA to 840 francs CFA, while that of diesel left from 720 francs CFA to 828 francs CFA on February 3, 2024, representing a 15% increase. The decision was taken at the end of a meeting chaired by the Minister of Commerce, Luc Magwabaga Tangana, with the Ministries of Transport, Water and Energy, Labour and Social Security represented.
Nous avons constaté qu'il fallait nécessairement.
We realized that there was a need to readjust the prices in order to reduce the weight of the subsidies and not to completely eradicate the subvention. The government will continue to subvent petroleum prices in Cameroon.
Du point de vue, le consensus est total.
The second increase after the first on February 1, 2023 was officially announced in a press release signed on February 2 by the Secretary General at the Prime Minister's Office, Severin Magua Fuda. The same document highlighted that domestic gas and kerosene prices remained unchanged respectively at 6,500 francs CFA per 12.5 kilograms bottle and 350 francs CFA per litre of oil. As part of accompanying measures following the price adjustment, the Cameroon government plans to increase the income of public officials by 5%. Once effective, this increase in salaries in Cameroon will be the second in the space of 1 year after February 1st, 2023, and also following an increase in the prices of these petroleum products. The government also envisages the opening of a dialogue with the private sector on the Guaranteed Interprofessional Minimum Wage Rate (SMIC), as well as on related issues. The reduction of certain tax burdens and custom charges in the road and transport sectors are also in view. These changes come in a context where inflation reached 7% in Cameroon in 2023, the first time in 28 years, a percentage projected to increase with the now inevitable rise in the transport prices.
Still in the limelight of increase in petroleum-related products, we spoke with an economist based in the economic hub of Douala, Jean-Marie Biada, who reacts on the implications of this price hike that have been put in place by the government in order to make sure the petroleum system in the country is kept afloat. He was speaking to our Douala-based correspondent.
After the change of the price of fuel and Ego automotive gasoline, what is going to change immediately is the budget of the Republic of Cameroon. Actually, is close to 6,000. Is really 6,470 billion CFA francs. Actually, or let's say at latest on the month of June, the government, the President of the Republic, have to issue an ordinance to increase the budget of Cameroon. That is the first impact. Secondly, the price of things like transportation in the rural area have to change. The price of transportation, let's say taxi, in the urban area have also to change. And thirdly, the government is producing close to 30 up to 33% of what we are calling here thermal electricity in Cameroon. And the budget the government deserves to that activity is 1 billion per week. It means that that budget have to increase up to 15% immediately. And moreover, all those who are carrying goods here in Cameroon and bringing to Central Africa or in Chad, before the recent increasement, the price was 3,200,000 francs. And when the government increased the price of Ego automotive gasoline to 36.6%, the amount to pay more than that 3 million was 400,000. Now that the government has decided to increase the price of automotive gasoline to 15%, it means that actually to move from here to Central Africa Republic, we have to pay close to 3,800,000 CFA francs. This means what? All those who are not willing to pay that amount will not see around them people specialized in transportation. So goods, some of goods who were, let's say, their final destination was the Central African Republic, have to remain here because those who were supposed to carry will not have money to do it. So those are some consequences of that rate of 15% apply on the price of fuel in our petrol stations. First of all, household, they are directly affected. It means that your let's say your kids generally receiving from you 1,000 or 2,000 to move from the house to the school and come back, actually you have to add 15% of that amount on it. It means that they were supposed to take the taxi or 300 CFF per day. Officially, it's not already the amount, 400, but in the field, that's what we are going to observe. Secondly, those who used to go with what they call Okada or Moto or Benskin, they have to prepare more money to move from their residences to where they are working now. So households are directly affected. Secondly, the government is also directly affected because the government is producing thermal electricity through gasoline. It's been that its real budget with 1 billion per week have to increase for 15%. It means that 150 million per week. So even the government is directly affected. And tell those who are dealing with transportation from Douala to Yaoundé, they use gasoline. Fourthly, those who are dealing with, let's say, mines. In the mines, all the earth-moving machines working there are using gasoline. Let's say backhoe loader, let's say compactor, let's name excavator, let's name four-wheel loader, let's say bulldozer, all grader, all those machines are using gasoline. It means that they are directly affected by this measure taken by the government. And finally, let's say all those who are dealing with, what can I say, with transportation of goods, they are also affected. You want to carry your goods from here to Central African Republic to close to 1,300 kilometers. You must pay more than what you were paying before this measure taken.
That was Dr. Jean-Marie Biada speaking to a reporter over there in the city of Douala this afternoon. We move over to something else, this time around in the Southwest region. In order to effectively pilot the affairs towards entrepreneurial skills and quality healthcare services provided to the public, members of the Board of Directors of Jamofo Foundation have met in the town of Tiko to brainstorm the way forward for the said non-profit organization to get to its peaks when it comes to the provision of her core values to the public. Jabi Keti was there and that tells us more.
These are Board of Directors of the Jamofo Foundation. They are gathered in their annual fashion for a Board of Directors meeting to deliberate the affairs of the foundation.
So this Board of Directors meeting is a meeting that is being organized by the foundation one time in a year. So this Board of Directors meeting is a meeting that came at the right time. This is just the start of the year. So we needed to come together to put it in place and see how this foundation, move forward.
The session took place on Saturday, January 3rd, 2024 at the vicinity of the Jamofo Clinic in Likumba Tiko subdivision.
The result of the meeting was very positive. For instance, we had to peruse through the articles of association of the company, of the foundation, and we discovered that there were some other lapses that needs to be amended.
As the Jamofo Foundation sets for greater impact this 2024, they beckon on community support in achieving their mission of providing entrepreneurial skills to youth and quality health care to the general population through their scholarship schemes and the Jamofo Health Clinic.
Yes, this Jamofo Foundation was created by Papa and Mami for blessed memory. Mami also was sick for a very long time that I was there. And because of she did not get proper diagnosis of her illness, she was operated 6 times.
And that in mind, she think necessary that it's not good that other people should pass through what she went. That was that they bring, and then you have the supporters from the donors from the United States of America who saw into the idea, and then they came now, they created this foundation. So one of the key points of this foundation is that it is to raise, those orphans who are there. the poor people who cannot go to, those poor children from poor home backgrounds who cannot go to school, aimed at bringing them together and then try to sponsor them to give them a better future so that tomorrow they too also may emulate what happened and then train other people too who are less privileged in the society.
The message for the community is that Joma Foundation has come to be a blessing. So they should just abide by what we are saying and what we are doing, and they should support us.
It is now the wish of the Board of Directors to continue with the benevolent activities of the patrons Ma Marianne Nook and Pa Joseph Nook, as these patrons were always noted to have a house filled with kids whom they educated and extended love to. Hence, with the Jomafo Foundation, their legacy lives on.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We cross over to other news items now. In Cameroon, the first week of February is always observed as National Bilingual Week, and the last Friday of the third week is known as National Bilingualism Day. A day is set aside and a week set aside to emphasize for the need for Cameroonians to embrace both English and French as their lingua franca or main official working languages in the nation. But to how bilingual Cameroonians, Cynthia Lat in the paper that follows traces the evolution and history of the said Bilingualism Week and Day in the upcoming report.
Every first Friday of February of each year, bilingualism is celebrated in Cameroon. The day promotes the use of the two official languages, English and French, in the country. In Buea, the capital of the English-speaking Southwest region, Suzanne has understood the need to speak the two languages and is leaving no stone unturned.
Bilingualism is just like an act of, or a will to understand, speak both French and English, even to write. Me, I socialize with francophones, able to know their language, speak with them, interact with them, in order for them to also teach me the language, so that I can also teach them the English I know, in order for us to be bilingual.
The beauty of the two languages to her is treasurable. Having had a certain mastery of the English language, Suzanne's challenge is the French language. Articulating some sentences already is a big step forward.
Quelle belle journée.
Since the adoption of the two languages in 1961 and government's creation of the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism in 2017, many Cameroonians, however, continue to face difficulties in speaking both languages fluently. Over the past years, a week has been reserved in the country each year to observe the day. The 19th edition this year is celebrated under the theme Bilingualism, Vector of Digitalization of Education and the Promotion of Civic and Moral Values for a Peaceful and Emergent Cameroon.
The National Youth Day is fast approaching. This have witnessed a lot of activities for the youth that makes them to stand solid when it comes to rearmament and other engagement for the youth, for them to stay away from unhealthy practices. A day is set aside for them to reflect and strive harder for the nation Cameroon to continue coexisting in a peaceful nature, and for them to attain their goal by making sure the nation Cameroon becomes an emerging nation by 2035, a vision set aside by President Paul Biya. As such, Rita Mafani Mojoko picks interest in the upcoming Youth Day event, and now tells us more.
National Youth Day, celebrated in many countries, has also been set aside in Cameroon as a national holiday to honor the youths and embrace the importance of education. As the 11th of February draws near, the significance of this day cannot be overemphasized, as some leaders call on the youths to be creative and innovative so as to create impact in their various communities.
I'm calling upon all Cameroonian youths to be able to maximize the Youth Week. It's a week that has been given to them by the state, and they should maximize it because it's a period where they need to reflect, need to take stock of that which they have been doing. They should look at their vision again, they should look at their future, they should look at how to build themselves, develop themselves as individuals, and develop their careers. I will encourage most youths to go to school, especially professional institutions, where they will be able to come out as professionals and they'll be able to develop their own businesses and become entrepreneurs.
Being emerging leaders of tomorrow, the youth hold a position of responsibility, one of which is the aspect of morality and upholding excellent moral values. As they prepare to celebrate, there is a need to understand the economy of Cameroon and possible solutions to various problems faced as they prepare for the work ahead.
We've moved from an age where they used to say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow to a place where now you are being empowered to understand that you are the youths of today. You are the leaders of today. You are the leaders. You're the ones we have been waiting for. And you have resources and gifts and talents that you've been given to use for the betterment of society. And you have what it takes. It's not somebody else. It's not another generation. We are that generation that will stop blaming. So my counsel will be, let's move from the blame game. Let's move from the accusation. Let's move from complaining and become people that are actually awakened, that are taking responsibility.
In an age of digital emancipation, the youths are equally expected to explore the various platforms to empower themselves and develop mechanisms that will not only make them job creators but self-sufficient.
We should tell them that they should exploit the new shift, which is a shift of information and communication technologies. They have all in the internet, they have all online. There's a lot of information. They should read many books, books of great authors, books of successful businessmen, successful business leaders, successful leaders in politics and any other type of leaders.
As this day draws near, the week is filled with activities reminding the youths of all they can and should do in order to answer the unanswered questions.
We talk entertainment on this newscast. The African music industry that is quite diverse, not only with different genres but and talent too. This has prompted them to top the most global charts across the world, as they have not ceased from topping the charts. They are equally conquering Academy Awards or Global Entertainment Awards soirees like the Grammys that just ended in Los Angeles in the United States of America, as Aisha Mbeng reports. We are deeply sorry for the mix-up that we witnessed there in that report done for us by Aisha Mbang. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, there was a mix-up in that technicalities. Without viewers of High Television, this is where we conclude High Prime for tonight. High Prime of Monday, the 5th of February 2024. Thanks for watching and good night from our new studio here in High Television. Bye-bye.